the author of this fantastic book I have in front of me here, The History of West Indies Cricket Through Calypsos. Mr. Nasser Khan is here with us this morning on the Zoom. Good morning to you, Nasser Khan. Nasser? All right, well, you need to unmute your mic, Nasser. Unmute your mic so we can hear you clearly. Yeah, Nasser, you hear me now? Good morning.
Yep, I'm hearing you. How about you?
I am hearing you now. Fantastic. Good morning. Welcome to the Now Morning Show. All right. So we're talking cricket. We're talking calypso. Can you tell me about your research into the origins of why calypso and cricket go hand in hand?
Well, calypso and cricket is the only thing that unifies us as a people in the West Indies. I mean, we have known this forever. I mean, we share nothing other than the Caribbean Sea and cricket. So it binds us like nothing else does. And therefore, calypso, which is integral to West Indian society, I mean, out of the 216 calypsos, if I could just cut in there, about 185 that are by non-Trinidadians. So as a matter of fact, the most calypsos cricket calypsos is by a non-Trinidadian, that is Beckett out of St. Vincent, who had 12. Then you had Dave Martins and the Trade Winds with 10, and then you come to Rudder and so on. So it just goes to show how cricket and calypso are so integral to our society. But that song Black Sage just sang was, yes, 1950 at Lord's, 1950. When we were propelled onto the world stage by beating England in that second test comprehensively, and the calypso lyrics tells you the whole game. I mean, by calypso, our cricket stories are told. That's the old, I just put in cricket there in people's buzzword, buzz phrase. But nothing like these 216 from 1926, when Attila the Hun sang in Port of Spain 10, MCC versus the Colony, which was Trinidad. You look at the lyrics and you could go through the whole game. You feel like you're in the Oval watching the game, and it was at the Oval in 1926, the first calypso.
Well, that's very interesting. We've come a long way since then, though. We've had, Kitchener, we've had Beginner, we even had people like Rupi and Marshall Montano, who's given us cricket songs, cricket calypsos.
That is true.
We pick up the pace, and Super Blue come and give us all kind of thing, road match winning calypsos about cricket. Why is it that we feel we need to celebrate this game so much?
Well, the game, as I said, it's part of us. CLR James says you cut open his heart, you might see a cricket ball. And so many of us, not like you, but we have cricket in our brain. We live, we eat, we sleep. It becomes addictive.
But you say not like me, right? But there's a generation of people who may not be as in tune with it. I know that there are people in my generation who love cricket. I may not be one of those people, but how do we get the nation to get back on that train? Because we saw the correlation between culture and cricket, calypso and cricket, music and cricket, and I feel like we've lost it. So much so that now the cricketers have to sing their own songs.
Well, champion is obviously in 2016, and we have not had anything really to celebrate. Hopefully when we win the 2021 T20 World Cup, we'll have some new songs. But we have felt the urge through calypso to tell the stories, whether it be trials, tribulations. We have, Rio mentioned, we have immortalized all our players. There are 24 calypsos in these 2016 on Lara. There are a whole bunch on Sobers, and he's referencing 41 calypsos. In the 60s, we immortalize him. I think Black Sage will do a few lines from Sir Garfield Sobers in 1966. He did 1950 there. So if he does the 60s, he could do a little verse and chorus from Sir Garfield Sobers. Then we get into the 70s when Swallow out of Antigua did Vivian Richards. In the 80s, we did Rally Around the West Indies that became the anthem. Then in the 19s, we did Super Blue, that was our road march. And then in the 2000s, we got to DJ Barbo. So we have been consistent. We have been producing calypsos, albeit not as, because of the advent of soca, it is not easy to document cricket in prose and calypso that the Tens would appreciate. So, and there's nothing great to celebrate since Lara's, moving on.
I know I will
Hopefully
stop
we'll
you
win the
there.
World
I will
Cup.
stop you there, sir. I will stop you there. No, I mean nothing great to celebrate since Lara, you're wicked. But just now, before we go down, before we go there, let me take anyone about Sobers. This one is from
Yes,
Sparrow,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, before
Yes.
I go there though, I think it's Short Shirt who immortalized Vivian Richards.
Yes.
No bowler holds a terror to Vivian Richards.
Yeah.
No Thompson or Lily, not Beatty or Chandrasekhar. Remember that one, right? Short Shirt.
I
right?
don't remember that one, but our cameraman Sayo has been singing along with you, so he remembered it too. Give me the one about Sobers.
Who's the greatest cricketer on earth or Mars? Everybody know it's the great Sir Garfield Sobers. That handsome Barbadian lad really knows his work. Batting or bowling, he's the cricket king, no joke. 3 cheers for Captain Sobers. Special place to Conrad Hunter, our opener. Rohan Kanai, Lance Gibbs, and Basil Butcher. To win in Australia is never easy. So hip hip hooray, for a glorious victory. Australia, you lost, the West Indies is boss. The trophy belongs to us. I say you lost and you know you lost, come on. Australia, stick your grind. Australia, don't mind your loss. Better luck next time.
You know, it's always so interesting because, you know, we have the good and we have the not so good as well, right? And Mr. Khan, I know that you were wanting to focus, sorry, Nasser, man's buff every time I call him
I'll
Mr.
give you a
Khan.
not so good just now.
You give man not so good just now. I'm curious as to, you know, do we when we talk about Calypso, we talk about the good and the bad of the cricket as well, right? We talk about both of them. Nasser, how do you feel about the fact that we don't always sing the positive ones?
Well, I mean, as I said, we have documented history, so the trials and tribulations are part of our storytelling. And when in the 70s we had that low period in 1972 before we won the World Cup in 75 and 79, we had Relator, you know, given the West Indies team what he had to do. That was a down. We talk about Sobers need coaching as a captain. We talk about you turned out, we saw we will bring him now. I mean, so I don't want to focus on the negative, but certainly we have sung about the tribulations. And I just want to say to Sage, yes, sorry, there was another Calypso by Swallow in 75. That one by Short Shirt is 76. So, but Swallow also had one, Vivi Richards, and it's on the front of his album with Vivi and Swallow. Swallow had a bunch of calypsos. He had 6 calypsos on West Indies cricket. The late Swallow, the late great Swallow.
All right. Before we get back into some more music, Nasser, you wanna share anything in particular with us before we wrap up with you? Because I want Sage to jump to the top.
I want to say that I want to thank Nagico Insurances. These books are in all schools and libraries under a youth literacy program. And the work was started by 2 researchers, Ray Funk out in Alaska and George Maraj out in Toronto. And I built on the basis of what they started. So, you know, we need to give credit where it's due. There's nothing, you know, in Calypso music, for example, Rudder said, creating rhythm that could be deadly like Headley.
Yeah.
Imagine that is a line in the great Calypso music. Calypso, I wonder how many people realize there's a cricket connection there. So that's how I want to wrap it up. I hope that we will have some more Calypsos when we win the World Cup coming up, and the tents will be open in 2022, and people would herald in Calypso all the songs that we will celebrate from those victories.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Nasser Khan, for joining us this morning. I know that Sage is going to continue to entertain us to the top of the hour, but I thank you so much for joining us. Yes, that is performance. You see what you have there, Ria? There's a CIC hat because we're talking to good people this morning. Big up yourself, Nasser Khan.